And here is the Writer's Almanac for Saturday, March the 23rd, 2019. It was on this day in 1775 that Patrick Henry gave a speech to the Second Virginia Convention proposing that the colony arm itself against the king to fight for independence. Almost nobody at the time spoke openly of armed rebellion because it was treasonous. But when Patrick Henry spoke against the king and someone in the house shouted treason, Henry said, "If this be treason, then make the most of it." And he uttered his famous line, "I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." It's the birthday of Gary Joseph Whitehead, born in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, 1965, a poet and also a cruciverbalist, a person who constructs crossword puzzles. His first full-length collection of poems came out in 2004 called The Velocity of Dust. And the next year he got a Penn grant and moved to a remote cabin in the mountains of southwestern Oregon to live in solitude for 6 months and write. The book that came out of that 6 months, entitled Measuring Cubits While the Thunder Claps. It's the birthday of the French author Roger Martin Dugard, born in Neuilly-sur-Seine, France in 1881, who wrote a series of novels known as Les Thibauts, chronicling the fictional Thibault family over the course of 2 decades, what the French call a roman fleuve, which literally means a river novel, a series of novels about the same few characters over a long period of time where the historical backdrop plays a prominent role. It's the birthday of Louis Adamic, born in what is now Slovenia, 1899, emigrated to this country at the age of 14. Author of many books about immigrant life in America, the labor movement, travel. Louis Adamic, who said, "My grandfather always said that living is like licking honey off a thorn." And it's the birthday of Fannie Merritt Farmer, born Boston, 1857, known for publishing the first cookbook in American history that came with simple, precise cooking instructions, also offered advice on how to set a table and scald milk and remove stains and clean a copper boiler. Here's a poem by Gary J. Whitehead, Driving All Night. First, there are the songs on the stations you love, and the two of you dancing in your seats, thumbs keeping time on the wheel, windows halfway down, the sun sinking in the distance, and the city, a gray, fading, jagged line dividing the rearview mirror. Then the traffic thins, the smog clears, the stations you love fizzle into static, and you switch to CDs, then MP3s. Brake lights 2 by 2 veer off redly to the right until, over the next hill, nothing rolls before you but the yellow lines in the short-sightedness of your low beams. Now the smell of farms, alfalfa and hay, cow pies and corn, and beyond the wind of the cracked windows and moonroof, a seething of crickets and katydids. Your lover asleep in the reclined seat. You switch off the stereo and tune in to the hum of the road, the rattle somewhere in the dash, the flash and gale of a passing tractor-trailer. You watch needle and gauge, scan signs for rest stops or gas. You pinch at crumbs of pretzels or chips in a greasy bag, swig the last of the water. Miles and miles. Your head growing heavy, your back beginning to ache, your plans second-guessed or altogether regretted, a pumping like pistons in your empty gut. What but the hoped-for pinkening in the east to think of? Then you who are driving, you who are driven through the night, which is dark and long. Driving All Night, a poem by Gary J. Whitehead from Strange What Rises, published by Terrapin Books and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.